Alright guys, welcome back to Talk with the Boro Boys, episode 3. My name is Andrew Franz. I'm joined with Connor Ballou and Carson Shelton. And today we're going to be recapping the big game, the Super Bowl this past Sunday, where the Eagles absolutely destroyed the Chiefs 40-22. The Eagles went up big early in the first half and they did not look back at all. Jalen Hurts in that offensive line and just Saquon Barkley absolutely destroyed them. Cooper DeJean getting pick 6 or later in the game. Huge. Chiefs had to get a couple points back later in the game, but there was no hope for them going into the third quarter. Basically, our Chiefs or the Eagles already up 17-0, and then Chiefs going for a 2-point conversion, missing it, and that's when you knew the game was somewhat over. And 40-22. Carson, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, the score really doesn't do this game justice. Chiefs got some garbage time points, but they really didn't get off the bus. It was evident to see. The Eagles got to Mahomes all night long with only 4 rushers, which it's very hard to win a game like that when you're getting pressure with only 4 rushers. I think they only blitzed one time.
Yeah, they didn't blitz at all, which is for a team that normally does blitz, I believe. Not blitzing at all and getting multiple sacks is great.
Mm-hmm. Jalen Hurts looked great. The Chiefs' defense kind of slowed up Saquon, which was a huge ask, but Jalen Hurts played great all night, and he proved all the haters wrong, and he proved me wrong, and he deserved that MVP, and he deserved to win that Super Bowl.
I agree. I thought the Eagles dominated from start to finish. They even the first play, I don't know if you remember, I think it was to either Hollywood Brown or I think it was Hollywood Brown. It was like a first down pass, but after that, I don't think they had a first down for the rest of the half. They were never able to establish a running game. The pressure was a 4-man front, and they were able to get to him every time. Mahomes looked uncharacteristically uncomfortable. He was moving. I mean, people were talking about his feet and just him off timing and out of rhythm. Kelsey never got going. Their defense is really good, so I got to give credit to them. But at the same time, you didn't expect that with 2 weeks layoff. Andy Reid and Spags. I don't think anyone expected that. But Eagles didn't really run the ball either with Saquon. He had, I think it was 25 rushes for
57
yards.
Yeah.
So that's a win if you look at the box score any day of the week. But they were able to create some turnovers. DeJean played great, and Hurts, like you said, definitely proved me wrong. I mean, he's played good in both Super Bowls he's been in now, and the biggest games he seems to play the best. So it was surprising to see, and I think, they got to be the favorites going into next year. They're a force to be reckoned with. So
Yeah, I don't think they're really losing anybody, especially, Jalen Hurts had that picture of them losing a couple of years ago on his lock screen. Everyone's been talking about it. Was clearly motivation for him to come into this game and prove everyone wrong. Everyone was saying Mahomes can't lose in the playoffs, and Jalen Hurts just proved everyone wrong. The only people he's lost to, I believe, is in the playoffs is now him, Joe Burrow, and Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. So, those are big shoes to fill, especially with those 3. Tom Brady is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, so just very clear.
The Eagles, their matchups on the outside with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Goddard, they got dudes everywhere. So Hurts was back there just, and that deep ball, that was the dagger. I think that put him up. 34-0. So.
Yeah. Does it get better than Kellen Moore winning a Super Bowl and then getting a head coach gig over there in New Orleans?
That's about as good as a couple of days as you can ask for there.
Yeah. Doesn't get any better than that. One thing you have to look at is you got Devontae Smith basically being one of their wide receiver ones. Basically, they don't really have a wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 over there. They got Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Those are going to be wide receiver 1s on any team in the league, no matter where you go, basically.
Yeah, that's a great 1-2 punch. Great 1-2.
You got a smaller guy who's quick, and then you go to A.J. Brown, who's almost double his size in height and weight, and he's just as quick and he's just as big of a target as Devontae Smith. Mm-hmm. Devontae Smith being I think he was the first Alabama guy to get a touchdown after graduating from there, which is surprising when you think about all the guys who have came from Alabama. Alabama has been a powerhouse for over a decade. You would think someone from there had gotten a touchdown before then, but no, Devontae Smith is the first one. So, I mean, just...
And if it felt like A.J. Brown had a bigger game than he did. He only had 3 catches, but...
43 yards and tutty.
I think they drove on 21 points or something like that, but they had 14 points at least off turnovers, I know. And that pick 6, obviously. So Hurts just did everything they asked him to. And, yeah, he had one mistake with the interception. Bad ball, but happens. But just credit to them. And Sirianni, I mean, he was getting questioned for his job at the beginning of the year, the first 4 or 5 games when they started. I want to say 2-3 or 1-2, something like that. So.
Well, if you look at the Eagles fans as a whole, they've called for Sirianni's head every year for the past few years, where he could start out 5-0 and they're going to be calling for his head. It doesn't matter. I mean, Eagles fans are built different. No matter, any Philadelphia fan is built different. They're going to be calling for their head coach's head, manager's head, whether you're 5-0 to start the year or 0-5. There's no in between for them.
Yep, them Philly fans are ruthless.
But looking at Patrick Mahomes, like you guys were saying earlier, he looked like he didn't get off the bus. His feet were bothering him. He went 21 for 32, which is very unlike him, with 2 interceptions.
Yeah, watching him all night was very uncharacteristic. I mean, seeing some of the throws he'd make, and it was very unlike him. I mean, he was missing wide open players, throwing the ball everywhere, sporadic. I seen some on Twitter when he got hit hard and brought to the ground that he banged his head, maybe had a little head injury, but I'm not looking too much into that. It's tough when, you're getting pressured every play and having to make something up, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't. It was kind of, I don't know who you blame this. I mean, I guess you blame it on everyone, but I thought Mahomes wasn't good in the game, but most quarterbacks wouldn't be good in that situation. But there was never a point where you thought like the game was flipping or there was any momentum. It was over from the get-go, and that's what was surprising. Like, even in the blowouts, even if they go down, which they've been down in every Super Bowl they played at halftime, which is nuts to think about. But, I mean, they were down, but, like, there was no sense of urgency. They came out in the second half. First drive was a 3-and-out. So they didn't get any momentum ever. I mean, you'd think the Hurts interception gave them some, but I don't think they did anything with that. I think they ended up punting too. So there was never any momentum they were able to gain, which was shocking.
I think they'll be just fine for next year, though. They got Rashid Rice coming back. Xavier Worthy looked great in this playoffs. You have to figure out the tight end spot. Not sure what the deal is with Kelsey. He may go, he may stay, but he's not the same player. They need to figure out tackle. Tackle. Tooney needs to be moved back to guard. He cannot play tackle. It's hard enough already moving from guard to tackle. So you're going to have to draft somebody or trade for Trent Williams. But, yeah, they're going to be just fine next year.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
If you look at it, they were 15-2 coming into the game. They're not a team that's losing, and when they're losing, it's not like this where you end the first half and they're down 24-0, and then they go up another 10 points, 34-0 before they score, or 34-0 before they score. It's not something you see. I mean, if they would have came back and won, that would have been the greatest comeback of all time. It would have been comparable to Brady coming back against the Falcons, but there was no hope for them. They came out of that half, and I think they went 5-and-out, and they got 10 yards. So I mean, there was just no. As soon as that happened, I feel like there was really no hope for them, because I think the Eagles went down, got a field goal, and then another quick 4-and-out, 5-and-out, and then went down and scored again. So I mean, there was just no hope for them going in from the end of the half to the start of the second half. There was just nothing there for him.
Travis didn't look himself all night. I don't know what the deal is, if it's his age. I didn't realize he was 35.
Yeah, he's 35.
So he's up there. But I don't know what his deal is, so they're going to have to figure that position out if he goes.
Well, and I saw
the running game. They were never able to establish a running game. So I know that Pacheco, and he was never himself all year. But you credit that to the Eagles' defense and their front. They weren't allowing anything easy.
I saw his for Kelsey to come back next year. It's like $18.5 million, which would be the most for any tight end ever. I don't see the Chiefs going after him for, especially when he's getting up in age. I mean, he's like you said, he's 35. He's been in the league for over a dozen years.
That's a lot of money for his age. And they're getting Rice back and Worthy. I mean,
I think he may try and stick it out one more year. I mean, losing like this, leaving a bad taste in your mouth, hard to retire on that. Especially when you know you got the team that you can go right back to the Super Bowl and win it.
yeah.
I think it's just something he has to think about as someone who's getting a little bit older in the league, someone who's been around for a dozen years, someone who might not be playing the same way that he has been when he was in his prime. Does he want to keep putting that strain and stress on his body, or does he want to just be happy with where he's at? I mean,
Taylor Swift.
I mean, you got to think. Yeah, you got to think about that. But I mean, he's got over 12,000 yards in his career. Are you going to be happy with that, or are you going to go back and you try to get more? Or you can try and break records. What do you like?
3 rings, 3 Super Bowls.
Three Super Bowls.
I think he stays one more year, tries to win the Super Bowl, propose, and then retire.
Okay. So you're saying he's not proposing until he gets a Super Bowl? Another Super Bowl. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm shocked he hasn't already, to be honest.
I mean,
he looked like a fool into that stadium.
I didn't see when he showed up there.
I hate that.
His hair looked greasy.
Like
I saw Mahomes was in a green suit. What are we doing? I feel like
NFL outfits are just NBA and NFL.
You know, you get all that money. You know, you want to splurge a little bit.
Right. Do you think DeJean should have or been in the conversation for MVP, or do you think it was all Hurts?
I think it was Hurts.
yeah.
Just controlling that offense and doing everything he did. What did he end up rushing for? 70 something?
I think it was
72.
72.
Yeah, I mean, he controlled that game in and out.
Yeah, he did.
DeJean had a hell of a game, but it's really hard not to give the MVP to the quarterback who wins the game, especially when you play like Hurts did. But not taking away from anything DeJean did, he had a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean he had 3 tackles. I think they were all solo tackles. He had the pick 6, obviously. I mean, I don't
was
think he's
all over the place.
I don't think he's let up a single touchdown the whole year.
That might be right.
I mean, I don't know how accurate that is. I'm trying to see.
And
it
he's
right
a
now.
rookie, so
yeah, rookie.
I know Sweat's a free agent. That's a big free agent for him. Be interesting to see if he gets paid or not. The edge rusher, and I want to say there's another linebacker that's a big free agent for them. But other than that, they're pretty much locked and loaded. And their offensive line, talk about controlling the game. Up front on both ends.
I think if I had to go up one-on-one against any one of those guys, I'd probably die.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably get slammed in the turf and
You're laying there and you're just getting run over. But
concussion, CTE, maybe all got it.
All of it. Yeah, but DeJean, I don't think he let up a single touchdown the whole year. So I mean, rookie wide receiver, that's just beautiful.
They got Blankenship too. I think he was hurt, but
he was playing.
Was he playing?
Yeah, he had 3
didn't.
sacks. Yeah, he played for a little bit.
He had 3 sacks.
Or 3 tacks.
11.
Tackles. Not sacks.
Tranquil 11 tackles. But it's crazy how this is their second loss this year, so they've only lost one time. But to come out like that is just shocking. It wasn't even competitive.
No.
2 weeks to prepare for it, and Vic Fangio, hats off. I mean, I know he's got a bunch
Spags
of
had
talent.
no answer for that offense, man.
No.
No answer.
I mean, that a defense coming down and getting Mahomes constantly.
If you say the game plan is to go shut down Saquon, they did it to an extent. I mean, but
I mean, he
there's
averaged 2 yards basically for
going
25
into this
carries.
game. Going into this game, I feel like most everybody would have said if we stop Saquon, we
You're
have a
gonna
good
win.
chance of winning this game.
Hmm.
But then Hurst just proved everybody wrong. I mean,
Right.
he was delivering that ball perfect.
AJ Brown
17 for
mismatch on the
22.
outside. Who
Hey,
was Hurts? 17 for.
17 for 22, 221 yards.
That's super efficient. The one play or the one pick was a bad ball, but
Yeah.
it was essentially like a punt. I mean, they should have came away with
Right.
points on it, but
I mean, he got sacked twice for, I think, 11 yards lost compared to Mahomes' 6 and 31.
oh, different story. Yeah, those
That's-
quarterbacks.
Unheard of for Mahomes, especially
The
with
time.
his own line. Like,
Yeah.
It was
He-
like a 50. I want to say a 50% pressure rate,
yeah.
something like that. It was
and
almost
one
every
blitz?
time.
One blitz getting him 6 times. That's unheard of. I mean, we always hear about Mahomes scrambling around, making these insane diving throws, and just they got to him. It's not something
Yeah,
you
I
hear.
mean, you're watching the game, and as you see the play develop, you're looking at Mahomes trying to step up in the pocket, and the pocket's just collapsing, and he's getting sacked. Or he's trying to scramble out right or left, and they're just on him.
There was nowhere for him to go.
They're just on him.
No, hell of a performance.
I mean, any casual NFL fan, any fan that only watches the Super Bowl probably turned this off when the third quarter started, or about halfway through it. I mean, it was
Once it was
34 to 6.
34. Well, 34 nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they went down and
That was-
scored within the next couple minutes. So
It was unwatchable at that point.
yeah,
It was hard to watch.
it was rough. But Eagles. I mean, like you guys said earlier, the Eagles played the game, and the score does not represent how much of a difference
No,
there
I mean,
was
they got
in these
those
two
points at the
teams.
end. It was more
Yeah,
like
it was-
40-7.
Yeah, or 40 to
Something like
6.
that.
Really, I mean,
Yeah.
I could definitely have seen
Either
if the Eagles decided to play as hard the entire game through. I think it easily could have been 40 to 6, and those garbage
Yeah.
time points would not have come. Could have been 40 to 6, and it would have been one of the bigger Super Bowl victories of all time, I believe. The other one would have been dating back to, I want to say it was the Seahawks Broncos, and that was like a 46 to 8 or something.
I want to say that the pressure of three-peating kind of got to the Chiefs in this one.
That is a lot of pressure. You don't really hear about three-peats in sports, period, because you win, you lose players, you bring players back, but all the other teams are always going and getting new players, drafting guys, and becoming better. Where a three-peat's normally not in question, but the fact that they even had it in question where they could have won and three-peated, I feel like is not really common in this day of sports with all the money that you can
No.
spend.
And running into that team, too. That team they were underrated. Like, that Eagles team, they made the Chiefs just out for their money. Like, it was pure dominance. So they won, I want to say 7 or 8 games in a row this year, the Eagles, at one point after the bye week. And Saquon was forced to be reckoned with, and he got shut down in this game. But they beat him in, the past game and really good defense. So
The last three-peat in American professional sports, the Los Angeles Lakers from 2000 to 2002 with Shaq and Kobe.
yep,
And that's a
Yep.
dominating team with Shaq and Kobe.
yeah.
So that's the level you have to be at to even have a chance to three-peat. I don't know if there's been a three-peat in the NFL.
I didn't think so, but I seen a graphic during the game that like the Packers won Super Bowl 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, come on.
Well.
Come on.
I didn't think there was one, but apparently
I
there
didn't
is.
think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading right now. The Green Bay Packers remain the only one to
What year
win a
was that?
three-peat. Oh,
Super
What?
Bowls 1, 2, and 3.
yes, a while ago. If we're at, 59?
I couldn't tell you.
I'm looking right now for you.
Would have been in
Um,
the 60s, right?
Mid-60s, yep.
Mid 60s.
Mid-60s. But talking about blowout wins, let's talk about Thomas Dentrich winning the Waste Management by 7. Just wow. I mean,
Well,
just played well.
didn't expect it for the first win. Talking about a dude that looked poised and not many mistakes on his end.
Oh,
He was excellent. I mean, he closed that. What did he start with? What was the lead? Was it 5 or 6? Do you know?
It was 5.
Yeah, I
Going
think it
into
was-
Sunday,
yeah.
5. And looking at his card, he had 1 bogey on Sunday round, and that was hole 2, and finished off with 4 birdies, 15, 16, 17, 18. So, but that tournament always delivers. It was great to watch.
Oh, it's
Some of these guys, Berger, Kim, Bazunol, Spieth, JT. I mean, they gave him a run for his money in the first couple of days, but they had no chance. They couldn't make up that many shots. So,
No.
hey, Maverick McNeely too, finishing 14 under. Another young stud, Minwoo, shot a 67 on the last day.
yeah. JT holding out on 18 to get into T6.
Oh, yeah, that-
I mean, that was my
That made
statement.
him.
Did you guys see that dad and his baby on the couch?
No,
No.
I
The
didn't see
dad
that.
was like, if he holds out here, then we can watch your show. And the first guy did it, and then it cut to JT, and he holed out.
That's
Yeah.
that's wild. That's not. I feel like
Bucket
that's not
list to
something
go
you
to
see.
that. Bucket
Oh,
list
yeah.
to go to that
Oh
tournament.
yeah, that's a great tournament. Looking
Sit on
at
16.
our picks from last week, I had JT.
Yeah.
We had Scotty.
You had to be the winner, right?
Yeah, and then we
Yeah.
had who'd we have for Connor?
I had Sam Burns. He was.
Sam
I wanna
Burns.
say he finished 3. No, he finished 5.
Going back to our picks, these boys got absolutely destroyed going with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. They got destroyed. Their money lines were
Shows
wrong.
us
Their
how much
spreads
we
were
know.
long. Their overs were right, though. The over hit early. But-
thanks.
I have it claimed to be a bet man, and
Well, I
So
will
bad.
tell you, the golf. I don't know if we'll hit a single one all year, unless you
Yes.
go Scotty
Yeah.
every week. But
Yeah, you
that's
gotta
gonna
go
be
Scotty
tough.
every week. Sam Burns finished 5 under.
least
70,
he made the
69,
cut, so.
74. The 74 4 over ruined him, though.
Yeah,
Or
I was
3
keeping
over.
an eye on his score.
And then, but the problem is, Scotty going into Sunday, he wasn't back by more than or less than 10, I don't
He-
think.
He made a run at the beginning of the day. He's his first 6 holes. He had 4 birdies, and people were starting to wonder if he's
Yeah.
going to be able to make him a run. And then he
And then he fell
didn't
apart.
finish well at all.
Uh,
Yeah,
he,
he
he
didn't
ended.
finish
when
well.
you see Scotty slamming his club against his bag, you know something ain't right.
Yeah,
I mean, Ted's
That's-
got to get in that ear and calm him down, man.
That's not something you see. I mean, he had 4 birdies on the front, then he had 3 bogeys and a double on the back. Tell me that's not Scotty Scheffler like.
I think he's
Yeah, it
still
is.
getting into the swing of things. I mean, 2 tournaments under his belt now since the injury. I think he'll get back into it.
I'm not worried about him one bit.
So
Not worried about him one bit. He could easily go out to Torrey Pines and absolutely dominate that field. I mean, he could easily win.
Yeah.
There's no question in my mind that you could not choose Scotty Scheffler every week and not get a win 5 times for the season.
Right.
There's no chance.
right. And
I mean,
going
it's
into the
gonna be really
Masters,
hard for him to replicate the year he had last year.
No.
But I still think he gets a number of wins under his belt this year.
at least
Yeah.
3 or 4.
Oh, easy 3 or 4.
One
probably
major.
Easy.
And a major.
One major.
Oh yeah, come on. Let's be realistic here. There's no way he doesn't win a major. We're not saying he's got to
Ludwig.
be 01, 2000 Tiger Woods out here, because I mean that's unbeatable no matter what. But you can easily see him getting, like we said, 3 or 4 wins and a major without a doubt.
Yeah,
But
he'll figure it out, especially going into the Masters. He's got a couple months for that. So, but
yeah, we'll be getting there.
He's already got
quicker
one
we
win
know
under
it.
his belt this season.
Yeah.
yep.
He's got 1. But unfortunately, going Torrey Pines for the Genesis, like we already mentioned, Fortunately, California Fires pushed it out of Riviera. Great golf course. Would have loved
Love
to see it.
Riviera, man.
Love Riv. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that golf course. It's beautiful. But Tiger originally said he was going to play, had to withdraw, said it was about his mother. So I think his mother's passed, we all understand that. There's nothing we really say there. It's just,
Right.
if he's not ready mentally, then he's not ready mentally.
Right, and it would have been good to see Tiger out there, but you understand from his perspective.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, technically it's not even his home course at that point because it's his tournament normally at Riv. So it might just be something that he also thought in the back of his mind. He was like, I want to sit this one out, let my body heal, let my mind, let me think about my mom, and then come back and get some practice playing in TGL events. However, I do think he needs to get a tournament in before the Masters.
I think if he
Would
doesn't
she-
get one in before the Masters, it's going to be ugly for him.
I think he will. By that point, you'd like to think.
Yeah, but so what tournament does he want to play in?
I don't know.
This would have been the one.
Yeah.
With that being
But yeah, rest in peace to her soul.
Oh,
That's a very hard loss to go through, and I understand. I completely understand not playing after that.
Yeah.
I mean, hurts the heart.
I don't think anyone is questioning him withdrawing from his mother's loss. I don't think anyone's
Right.
going to question that.
Yeah,
But
I wonder if he'll still be there though.
he said he was going to get down there. He said he
Okay.
was. So I mean, still tournament host, going to show face, going to still be there. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah.
Um,
But the weight of weighing that and playing.
yeah, it's just not something
Yeah.
he needs to do. But he won't be at the Mexico Open next week. He won't be at the Cognizant Classic. He won't be there. Maybe the Arnold Palmer at Bay Hill. He's won.
Yeah.
He's won there plenty of times. He's won
Scotty
there.
won that last year, I
Um,
believe.
the
Didn't Scotty win
players-
that last year.
yeah, the players
Arnold
maybe.
Palmer, that's a good tournament.
The Valspar maybe.
Oh, you'd think he'd be at the players.
Yeah, I mean, I think he needs something right before the Masters, and then he'll play the Masters, and that'll be.
I can't wait for the Masters to roll around, and the boys are going to give their picks, and
It's going to be good.
it's going to get.
It's gonna
gonna
it's
be
gonna
up
start
there.
heating up soon. It's gonna
I
start
got
heating up soon.
No Scotty Scheffler.
For what, the Masters?
That ain't my pick.
Or we talk
No,
about this
that
week?
should-
Oh,
that should be banned for the Masters.
okay, I can get behind that. Carson does not want to get behind that one bit
I already got my pick, and it ain't Scotty.
for the
For the
Masters.
Mhm.
Okay,
I done
okay.
already told y'all boys.
You might have. I don't know. Looking at this week,
Oh yeah, Roy. You said Roy. Yeah, that's right.
No.
That's right.
I understand why he's going.
Hey,
Roy, but
I would love to see it happen.
yeah.
He's deserving.
Listen, he hasn't played good there in a number of years, and he's coming off a good start to the season now. And I think it carries over. I think he finally gets one done. If he wins that, will he complete the Grand Slam? I think he will.
I think he will. Yeah.
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 That'll be it.
Talking about picks, Connor, looking at Torrey Pines, looking at the history of playing at Torrey Pines, the wins out there. Who do you got this week?
So actually, I've got Rory McIlroy winning this week.
Oh,
And that is because the course is best for longer players, and when he's on the tee, I think he's going to control this golf tournament. I wanted to pick actually Hideki Matsuyama. I
That's
thought he
my
was
pick,
another good.
man.
All right, I thought he was
he-
another good pick.
he won the Genesis
I thought
last
he was-
year. He won it
Yeah, I
last
thought
year.
he was another good pick for this week, but I flipped on the last couple hours and decided to go Roy because I know the driving distance is big and the rough is rough this week. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with Rory to win this week.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the videos of the rough. You're going to need to pick someone who can drive the ball a long way and keep it in the short grass. That rough does not look fun.
It's going to be a show on the tee for Rory this week.
I think this week's going to be all about driving, and I think it's going to be a European guy.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be an American. Carson, you said it already.
Yeah, I got Hideki this week. Play that nice little buttercut through the fairway, hit fairway 6 degrees, making putts. Here we go. Yeah, I got Hideki.
As steady as they come.
Yeah,
Hideki.
I mean,
Steady.
You see the videos of Hideki. He'll hit a golf shot. It'll be 20 feet, and he's pissed. He's disgusted at it.
Drop his club, throw his club.
Drop his club, throw it. It'll be. He'll make contact, and he'll just instantly drop his shoulders before the ball even reaches its apex. It's just not something you see, and then having the results that he has.
The comeback the final day that he had last year, at Riv was really impressive.
Yeah,
it was.
I mean, nobody was thinking that he was going to come back and win that thing, but
He's one of those guys, when they get hot, they're tough to beat.
Seriously.
You know, Scotty, Rory, Hideki, all those guys at the top. So
Colin Morikawa is another one of those guys.
saw a lot of people picking him. I wouldn't be surprised if Franz here jumps out and picks Colin. He's a big Colin guy.
I would love to pick him. I want to so badly, but he has not played well at Torrey Pines. He had a solo third a couple years ago, but his other 2 appearances at Torrey Pines have not been good. And that is the main reason why I'm unfortunately shying away from picking him. I want to. There's going to be a time where I'm going to make a stretch, and it's going to be week after week, where I'm picking Colin Morikawa, and I do not give a damn. Because he plays too good a golf for him not to win.
He does. It's always Sunday. He can't go that next level, it feels like.
No. And it's unfortunate that he can't, and I want him to very badly.
His golf swing is beautiful, though.
His golf swing's beautiful. His ball striking is beautiful.
That fade he plays on the tee.
It's just all around that cut is beautiful.
It is.
Just looking at the guys who drive, like I would love to make another pick with Justin Thomas, but I'm not positive in picking him. I would love to get, like I said, Colin earlier. I'd love to go JT. I'd love to get one of the guys that I like. I would love to get someone that maybe wouldn't be expected, but I'm going to go back away from my comment earlier about a European guy. And I'm going Akshay.
Oh! Give it up for the kid, Akshay Bhatia, to win the Genesis. Hey, I salute that.
Wow.
I salute that. He's been playing good golf. Just one of these weekends, he's going to bring that long stick, and that long stick's going to carry him to victory.
Mm-hmm.
That broomstick, which Colin doesn't like. Colin wants that damn thing gone.
I saw that.
I'm going to throw a curveball into the mix here. I'm going to stick with my Hideki pick, but as a secondary, y'all hear me out. I'm sticking with Franz's original comment. European side of things, Tommy Fleetwood.
That's a good pick. Tommy. That's a good pick. I know he's been out there already practicing.
Oh yeah, him and Scotty done play around together.
Yeah.
Dude, did you guys see that one par 3 was playing 230 today? They were hitting 7
Really?
Yes.
At Torrey Pines?
Yeah.
No, I did not see that. Looking at the scoreboard from last year, is Xander in this year?
I don't think so. I think he's
Xander's in the field.
I think he's still recovering from his injury.
Okay, I was going to say because I haven't heard nothing about him. He finished 4th. I'll tell you what. His All-Tour should be an interesting one to see how he plays. He finished tied for 2nd last year.
Willie Z's going to win something here soon as well.
A lot of people are picking Oberg too.
If I'm going back to my original comment about them Europeans, that's my pick for the European as a secondary.
Okay. So we're rolling on. So is this the 3rd week of picks?
Second
week.
Second?
Yeah, we
did. No,
it
has to be 3rd because didn't I pick? I thought I picked Akshay the 1st week. No. I was gonna
Yeah.
say
No,
Akshay's
I
been
think we
picked.
did. I think we
Akshay's
did do
been picked.
three.
I think we did.
Akshay's been picked two.
Yeah, we did three.
I forget what tournament it was.
I think we did a
It
Masters.
was the
pick.
Hawaiian.
The Century or the Sony.
Century.
Which one?
I think you said
Century.
Akshay's going to get a major.
Okay. I was gonna say Akshay's been a hot pick here.
Or it might have been the Farmers you were talking. Nah, because that would have
Whatever
been
it
that would have been
was.
Torrey Pines again. I don't know.
Whatever it was, but it'll be interesting. I read a lot about the long guys are going to win, so and looked at some of the expert picks. Some people are picking Finau and Shane Lowry. So, but this kind of thing, you pick one out of a bucket, really.
Yeah, I mean you're just drawing straws from a hat. I mean
Right.
that's
Yeah.
all you're doing.
Tee times are out too.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now.
What's the big
trying to
group
see.
look like?
I'm looking at Rory, Victor Hovland, and Adam Scott. Wyndham Clark, Tony
Won't be
Finau,
many
and
Americans
JT.
with that one.
No. Victor's
American
someone
fans
who's
won't
been a little bit struggling a little bit.
Yeah, he's been open about
Yeah.
his struggles.
Yeah, and being completely transparent, I feel like a great show of maturity and character as a player, as a person. Just the whole idea of him just being able to say, "Yeah, guys, I've been struggling. I know it."
Yeah, I think he knows a good bit about his golf swing and understands what he's doing wrong. It's just the fact that he's been playing good for so long, and then all of a sudden this like stretch hits him where he's not playing good golf. I know that's got to be taxing. I know it does.
Oh yeah,
But I think he's just one tinker away from getting back to really good golf.
I think he's just one. I mean, one good day on the golf course, on the range, whatever it may be. He could go out and shock all of us and go shoot 22 under
Easily.
this weekend. Another good one's Hideki, Scotty, and Colin. That's good. And then
Oh yeah, that's a
Dietrich,
big group.
Ludwig, and Jordan Spieths. That's another. I mean, there's no really bad groupings to start this
No.
day off.
I'd like to
So-
see Homa play well this week. He's been struggling in last week.
I think he's still getting used to
Really
those
think he
new Cobra clubs. I think it's going to be something that's going to come, and when it does,
Yeah.
he's going to start playing up to the ability that we know him to be.
The golf
Yeah,
the
I'd like
golf
to see
world is
him.
better when home is playing good. It's that simple.
Right.
You could say this. You could say
Not
the
like
same
that.
thing about Spieth and JT. Same
Right.
thing. And I'm Ricky Fowler too. Completely
How about
agree with
Ricky's
that.
camo outfit? You mentioned that. That was something that you didn't expect.
No.
I think there's a couple words that go along with that, and that's for the people.
Yeah.
I hope he got
Yeah.
paid to wear that.
Oh, you know
lot of
he
money.
did. You know he did. I mean, when
Saw
do you see
one
that?
pic-
That's
Picture
What
of
do you-
him in a bush hitting his ball out with
you
that.
you didn't see him there. You didn't see him.
No.
I mean, that's a debut of something that's never been. I don't think we've seen camo out on the PGA Tour before. Now, maybe it
No,
was
that
before
was-
maybe before our time, before our memory started to kick in. But
If there's any tournament to do it, it was this one. So.
oh, absolutely. I don't think there's any other tournament that you could do it at.
Right. I don't really think it'd be allowed any other way.
No,
No.
just not at all. But talk about debuts. Luka Doncic debut with the Lakers. Carson Shelton, what are we thinking here?
Yeah, they had him on a minutes restriction of 30 minutes, which I think was just fine. The Utah Jazz aren't really a good team, so I felt like, 30-minute rule was okay. He looked good. He didn't shoot that well from three, but, that's going to come with the injury he had, missing so much time. He's going to get that shot back with time. I think the Lakers are going to have to adjust to Luka's passing ability. Because during the game, you could see sometimes where he would deliver a great pass and the players wouldn't be ready. He delivered a good one to Rui Hachimura and he bobbled it and ended up botching it. But I think what we said about having Bron and Luka on the same team, both being ball dominant, I think it's going to work out in their favor. They played great off each other this past day. And I think it's just going to keep getting better and better as Luka gets more minutes and gets back healthy.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. I'll be a little harsh on the Jazz. They're horrible. They're a horrible basketball team. They
Yeah.
are one of the two worst, probably them and the Wizards. So it was just cardio out there for him. But no, he didn't shoot well. But like you said, fully expect him to get that. But it seemed like the ball was moving so much better, and that's
Yeah.
expected with a playmaker like that. It'll be interesting to see. I saw they signed Alex Lynn today at center, and I saw the Hornets are like investigating the trade or whatever with
Oh.
Mark Williams. So if that ends up getting turned back around, that'll be good for the Lakers. But that would have been a huge piece for them. So it looks like it's going to have to be Jackson Hayes for the rest of the year. Someone said today they should sign Dwight Howard.
I mean, it's
But-
going to have to be Jackson Hayes, but since I've been watching, he's been getting better and better every
It
game.
seems like it. Pick and
So-
roll and lobs. I mean,
The first
that's
play of
really
the game,
what his
he
role
lobbed it
is.
up to him.
yeah, Austin Reeves has been playing great.
Oh my gosh, he's a hooper. He's a hooper.
He's a hooper. So, but I can't wait to watch him go into the playoffs. And offensively, they're going to be tough to stop. Now, defensively is another story, but we'll see. When that time
Defensively, it
comes.
could be a struggle. I mean, you got Braun at 40 and Luka, can't move that well, but damn if he can't give you something on the offense side. So
How about the whole arena in his shirts too? That would
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
that was,
Yeah.
that was dope. That was dope.
Looking at the short end of the stick of that trade now, Anthony Davis getting injured. Carson,
Yeah.
Carson, back to you.
We said this going in that AD was 30 and injury prone, and damn if he only played one half of basketball for the Mavs and ended up getting hurt. I think he's out for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah,
maybe.
out for a while, from what I saw.
Yeah.
It's rough. I think Daniel Gafford ended up getting hurt too. So, and I think Lively's hurt. So
And Lively's
Jeez.
hurt.
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, and he
Went
was
into the
playing
spirit.
great the first quarter. I think I want to say had 14 or something. So
I think he only missed
But-
2 shots.
getting hurt first game, that's the risk you take with taking on AD.
And non-contact injury, just walking around. It's ridiculous.
Like we said, if they are healthy, they could be good, but that is a big if. And looks like the Lakers are. I mean, you can't say they won the trade already, but for the future, it looks like they're on the
It seems
promising
like
side
they
of the
won
trade.
it already. Yeah.
It seems like they're on the promising side.
I, that's basketball.
How about,
you never know.
How about Dalton Connect being traded and he didn't play, and he said he didn't play because he wasn't comfortable yet. That is something bizarre you never see. How you get traded and then it gets rescinded, and
Right.
I can't blame him. I would feel terrible playing for the team that doesn't want me there. Essentially,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
He told JJ.
it's part of the game. It's part of
It
the game.
is.
I find that trade really bizarre because, it ended up didn't go through. And then the Hornets are saying that the Lakers pressed them for Mark, but the Lakers are saying it's the other way around. And you really don't know what
That's-
to believe, so.
No.
That's going to be an investigation
Who
in
knows?
itself.
Oh, it'll for sure get investigated by the league.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's a big loss for the Lakers on their end if that doesn't end up getting worked out to not bring in Mark Williams. So that would have put them as probably one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the Western Conference, I'd say, behind
I
OKC.
think for sure.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. But unfortunately, with the Super Bowl ending, it's baseball season, which is great for me. Baseball time. Pitchers and catchers reported. Great day. The rest of the teams report. I want to say the next couple of days, and games start next Thursday or next Friday, I believe.
I believe that's right.
Which is going
One
to
of those
be.
2 days.
I think I'm looking at next Thursday. First game, I believe, is Dodgers Cubs on Thursday, which spring training doesn't really show you much. Yet to see some younger guys, you get to see guys on new teams. Going to see Juan Soto on the Mets. Going to see Max Fried pitching for the Yankees. It's just you
Saw
see new.
Shohei today throwing gas.
Shohei's going to be back
Which-
on the bump.
I didn't think he was healthy enough, but I guess he's starting to throw now.
Well,
So we'll see.
I don't think he's thrown in in over a year. So I mean, getting Tommy John surgery, and then working on whatever else was wrong with his shoulder during the World Series.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be something that he's going to be coming back from, and I could definitely see him getting on that bump and absolutely helming it in April.
Yeah, and I think we can all agree the whole league is chasing the Dodgers this year. So, but yeah, looking at the schedule, only one game Thursday, and it's Cubs Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then there's a bunch Friday.
And then, then it starts to pick up, and then we're going to
Usually
get.
they don't play guys though they don't play guys for usually half a week or a week into the spring training.
No,
Usually it's the prospects.
Yeah, they're going to let their young guys, they're going to let their prospects get some ABs, see some pitching, get ready to go. I'm excited to see I think it's Matt Shaw for the Rangers. I think he was last year's first round pick. I'm excited to see him get some spring training at bats. Excited to see Spencer Jones, the Yankees, get some at bats.
Is he in big league camp, Spencer Jones?
Yeah, he's here.
Was he like a top 5 pick or?
I don't think so. No.
Do you remember? No. I'm still waiting on Bregman to sign. These guys, there's some free agents still out there that haven't signed, and you'd think it'd be this week by the time they show up to camp because they're starting. So
you would think it's time, especially with, like you said, pitchers and catchers already reported. That means he's got to.
I just want to get
find.
acclimated.
Yeah, they want to get with their team. They want to get going. They don't want to be waiting around for forever. At least I wouldn't want to be. But
Braves taking on the Twins. How your Braves gonna be this year? Got Sale and Strider back, and
Strider back, Sale. I'm not sure if Sale's going to have the year he had last year. I mean, it's kind of hard to follow up a Cy Young, especially at his age, but we'll see. I don't think Acuna's going to be ready to go by the start of the season, but once we get him back, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be
I hope
okay.
he stays healthy.
getting them back would
It's a
be.
shame.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the league and you think of top guys, unfortunately, at least recently, you've been leaving Mike Trout and Ronald Acuna Jr. off like the top 5 list, top 10, because of their injuries. Right. But if you look at the league when they're healthy, there's not a doubt in my mind that Ronald Acuna Jr. is not a top 5 guy in this league.
Oh,
I think when he's healthy,
between the arm he has, the fielding, the hitting, the speed, all of it. I mean, he's a 5-tool player when he's healthy.
right.
I think when he's healthy, he's always in the running for the NL MVP. Always. If he can just get healthy and stay healthy, we'll be okay.
I mean, what are we gonna say? Shohei, Judge, Soto, Acuna, and
Harper,
Trout.
Harper's
top
up.
5, and
Harper's up
Harper's
there.
in that discussion.
Tatis
Who
was
else?
in that discussion.
Tatis was, yeah. But that's probably
Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. I
Betts.
mean, you could list like the entire Dodgers starting lineup and Paul Skeens. You can't really.
Yeah.
I mean, even though he's a pitcher, I don't think you can leave him off. He's a dog.
he's a dog.
Damn straight.
I mean, that's the truth. I mean, there's nothing much else to say besides the fact that he came into the league as a rookie, absolutely dominated. I don't think we're going to see anything change. I saw him. He was throwing a bullpen earlier last week, and he was probably throwing 70%, and it just looked gross.
That ball just explodes out his hand, man. It's ridiculous
does.
to see and watch.
Did you guys see the video from the catcher's view?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
It was
about.
about a month ago. That's what you're talking about from the catcher's view?
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah. Just,
like a week ago, he was throwing like 80% in the bullpen or 70%, and it was just disgusting.
I wouldn't be able to squeeze that.
No.
I
mean,
it'd bite my eyes off. I tell you that. Those laces would. I'd go to class the next day looking like a fool.
Probably
Hey,
get one
Franz,
honest.
What do you think the Blue Jays will challenge the Yankees for the division this year? Because I was looking at their signings, and I know they got Santander, Scherzer to a 1-year deal. You
They're
expect
gonna.
Bo Bichette to have a better year.
You expect them to have a better year. They still got Vladdy Guerrero Jr. too.
Still got Vlad.
So
That's
after
Bichette.
this, I think after this year, the Blue Jays are going to have to do some major reconstruction because I do believe that Vlad and Bo and that group of guys that they all came up with are like out of arbitration. They're going to be free agents.
Vlad's
So
gone for
Vlad's
sure,
going to
I
be
think.
looking for a boatload of money.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the honest truth.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays easily could come after the Yankees. The Orioles could come after the Yankees. That's another team. I mean, Jackson Holliday, Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson's an absolute dog
Pitching,
as well.
pitching though,
They're-
they did lose
they-
Burns.
They did lose Burns, but I mean, if they can figure, they have their prospects are so good that I don't think that they're gonna waver that much. Where they're not going to be at least fighting for the divisional spot.
Yeah, they have a lot of talent.
I do think that the Blue Jays probably will with their recent signings. I do expect the New York Yankees to absolute dominate Max Scherzer, though. And this might just be me, might just be a Yankees fan. I'm trying not to be too biased, but every time
It's hard.
that it is hard. Every time that Scherzer's pitched against the Yankees, to my knowledge, he has not pitched well.
Yeah, that might be right.
And I'm talking multiple runs, multiple hits, not getting a lot of strikeouts, just not being the normal Max Scherzer that everyone knows. So I could easily see him struggling a little bit.
I agree. It'll be big to see how Bo and Vlad are this year, because Bo had a horrible year last year.
Yeah.
So, and also the Blue Jays, they never seem to end up winning when it matters in October. So we'll see about
mean,
that. But I thought it was a good signing with Santander. He could hit 40 bombs. So
Oh yeah. I mean, I think getting Santander, getting Scherzer's good. They're inviting some guys to spring training too, which is going to be cool to watch. I'm excited for. I don't remember what they called it. They started it last year where it was like only the prospects play. Was it Futures Weekend or something?
maybe, yeah. I
It
don't
was-
recall
it was-
what it was called.
It was something like that. But I'm excited for that. I like seeing these young guys that when we were in high school, they were in high school. When they were in college, all these guys that we in more recent years we saw them all get drafted. I'm excited to watch that. So I think spring training is going to be great. Spring training starting next week. College baseball, at least Division I, starts on Friday. I know Division II, maybe Division III started last week, but I'm excited for
Our,
baseball.
shout out to the North Greenville baseball squad out there in Hawaii. Looks like they had a hell of a time.
I
And,
I do believe they were on
they-
a flight back this morning, early this morning.
They were on a flight back this morning, and that was a haul. But seems like they had a good time and got a good experience out there. So they're underway with their season. We wish them best of luck to them.
Gonna shout out one of our boys, Josh Folks. That's our guy connected out there with North Greenville. Excited to see.
First at bat was a bomb. So
Excited to see what he does this year. Excited to see, for me, what these West Virginia Mountaineers bring this year. Bringing Savins in from being with the program for years, Maisie leaving. I think this first weekend down in Jacksonville is going to be a good showing of what we're going to bring this year. We got some dudes. I saw one of our media guys posted. We have about 5 or 6 guys in the top 30 for their position in the entire NCAA. So I'm excited about it. I don't know how you guys feel about Duke baseball, or is it strictly basketball? How Carson feels about Coastal Carolina? What are we thinking here?
Yeah, Duke-wise, it's mainly hoops for me, but I do root on my fellow Blue Devils on the baseball side of things. Coastal speaking, I think the Chanticleers are going to be good this year. Sun Belt Conference, Sun Belt preseason play of the year, Caden Bodine. He's had a hell of a
Okay.
track record here
Oh
at
yeah,
Coastal. And I think he continues it here and boost up his stock even more.
Yeah,
yeah,
I,
no
I
doubt
cheer
in my
on the
mind.
Blue Devils in all sports, mainly basketball. But obviously, we got Tyler Albright over there, so looking to him to have a big year in the outfield. And I know NC State's got a good squad. There's a bunch of ACC teams ranked. I want to say it's you can check
There's a
this,
lot.
Franz, but it might be
Clemson,
7 or 8.
Clemson,
Clemson,
Virginia,
Duke,
Virginia's
Duke,
2, right?
State, Wake Forest,
Carolina.
UNC. I think that might be it.
So that was 6.
Yeah, I got it
Florida
at
State?
6.
You
Yeah,
say FSU? They're ranked.
I'd not say
Clemson,
FSU,
you
but
said them?
yeah.
FSU. Virginia's number 2. So yeah, ACC
Yeah.
looks like
ACC
a
looks
loaded
dominant.
conference. So we'll
That
see.
that is one thing that we did see last year. I do believe the 8 teams in Omaha were 4 SEC and 4 ACC. So I feel like that's going to be something we're going to be start seeing a lot more, where it's only going to be strictly these bigger Power Four conferences with the Georgias, the Virginias, the Wake Forest, the powerhouse teams that have been powerhouses making it to Omaha. We might
It's good to
see,
see. It's good to see the ACC still competitive in at least one sport.
Yeah.
yeah, it's unfortunately it's definitely not football or basketball.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for your
Basketball
Duke
right
Blue
now.
Devils, Duke Blue Devils got beat by Clemson the other night.
Tough road
was
atmosphere.
Yeah, very tough.
Clemson's a hard-nosed team.
I did call the West Virginia Mountaineers beating the Utah Utes though,
You did. You
but
sure did.
we just got our ass kicked
Speaking
by,
of that Duke
by
game.
BYU. Damn it!
I saw that. Yeah, BYU's a good team though.
Yeah,
they
they're-
run a lot of good stuff, but should have won. But that Duke game, yeah, Flag was under the weather, and that's no excuse for the game. Gillis was out, so we struggled on both ends of the floor, especially defense. Our defense has not looked like that. That was a bit of a trap game with going down there to Little John, and they're a really good team. They're underrated for sure in the ACC,
Oh yeah,
but we didn't make shots when it mattered most, and dropped one. And I mean, I'll take 16-1 in the last 17. So
yeah. I saw Clemson was like 18-4 going into that game. So I mean, they're not really. That's not a team that you
just
how to
beat,
you
just
just
beat
walk
Carolina
through.
by
Yeah,
20,
yeah. It's not a team you just walk through.
which really felt like 40.
I can talk all night about this game, but really what it boils down to is our big man play was terrible. The Russian guy just absolutely gave it
Lock
to
it.
us. We had no answer for him, and then he turned right around and gave it right back to Carolina. So Clemson's a really good team. I think they're going to make a push in the ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament. They're now inside the top 25. It's at 23 I now think, which will probably go up by Monday. But yeah, they're not anybody to take lightly for sure.
It
And
was-
it's
it was
hard
a
to
tough
see. It's hard to see the Devils lose again on a Cooper Flag slippage. It's really hard to see
Right.
that 3 times now. Um, it sucks, man. It sucks. But
It
it's
does.
really not anybody who slips like that. It's not the player's fault. I mean, there's nothing you can do to control that. I mean, the players are sitting there. It's the end of the game. Everybody's sweating their ass off. It's coming onto the floor. It just sucks to lose that way.
He had a great second half, but I think it was all noticeable in the first half. He was not completely checked in, and I was thinking, I was like, he's either injured or sick or not feeling well or something. And he comes out and says he's been feeling under the weather for the last couple of weeks. So that was not surprising to see. So hopefully he's able to get healthy. They got California tomorrow, Stanford I think on Saturday. So realistically, they should run the rest of the regular season. So
I'm interested to see what the ACC will do with the court storming. I think they should adopt what the SEC has in place with the fines, because I'm all for court storming, but if you're gonna storm the court, at least let the players get off, and unfortunately for the Devils, that hasn't been the case in the past 2 years, and players getting hurt. We had to have our coach shove a guy off because he was trying to attack Cooper Flag, but you know, I think they
I
need to do
agree.
something about it.
Is it that hard to implement a rule where you got to wait 2 minutes after the clock ends and
Seriously.
then the arena announces and lets them all go? Is it that hard? I don't know how that hasn't been implemented yet. Because, yeah, you can. I mean, yeah, they're going to run in there, but like if you implement a rule about it and give a fine, I think it should help the case.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's going to be a fine no matter what. The Big 12 has the same thing when we rushed the court a couple weeks ago. I just feel like if you're adding like a time limit for the players to get off the court, you're just adding more of like a deflating effect in the stadium. Where if you look
Yeah.
at any football game, those fans are on the field as soon as that buzzer hits. Like as soon as that, at least for Mountaineer games, as soon as that musket's shot, you're on the court, you're on the field. Doesn't matter. So I feel like if you're adding a time limit for players to get off, even though I think there's got to be a better security detail around the court so that players aren't getting ran into and getting hurt. Like at WVU, we have Rhino. Rhino does a great job where they had, with like 5 minutes left in the game when we were playing Iowa State, they had next to both benches, they had 20 employees ready to guard those benches no matter what happened so that the players could get back to the bench and get off the court quickly and safely no matter what happened. So when we did end up rushing the court, all the Iowa State guys were able to get off the court. They were able to be protected by Rhino, and to my knowledge, none of them got hurt. So
I think that's the best way to do it. I'm all for court storming, but when you get to like players getting it, it's only a matter of time if they don't do anything about it that a player's going to get trampled. I mean, seriously. I mean, last year Kyle Filipowski hurt his knee because of it. This year our coaches had to shove people away. But yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. When you have a big win like that, you want to storm the court, you want to get in there, and I'm all for it. But I think the security needs to be better for sure within the ACC. Other conferences do it way better than we do, but yeah, I think it needs to be better.
I
It
think
seems like that's the same with officiating in the ACC. That
We're not going to
They
do
uh,
that.
they don't know when to swallow their whistle. They don't know when to blow it. They're a joke.
For
ACC
ACC teams, converting to conference play into the March Madness, it's going to hurt them because the refs are absolutely terrible. And I'm not saying this just from a Devils perspective. I'm saying this for everybody. I'm watching ACC games throughout the week, and it's awful officiating. I mean, it's terrible.
And
It's
I'm all
hard.
for it's a hard job, but sometimes you got to make up your mind and not try and get in the middle of a game and be the emphasis of a game.
It's like the rest. You know how refs before the game are supposed to come together and decide how they want to call the game. It's like they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they're all in separate rooms and they just go out there and
Right.
see who can call the most fouls. It's ridiculous.
Whoever calls the most fouls gets paid the most. That's
yeah.
That's
what
what,
it
it's
seems
like.
like.
There might be an incentive for whoever calls the most gets an extra $1,000 into their bank
But it's
account.
best not to get in that topic.
That's right.
No, but I mean, going back to the court storm, I definitely think there should not be a time limit, like you said, Connor. I'm sorry, I completely disagree with you. I think
It
I
makes
just think
sense because. Go ahead.
I just think the ACC could do better with their security. I think it might be university by university, not the conference. So if the universities don't have a security detail the way the SEC does, the Big 12 does, they need to figure out a way to either as a conference to do it or as each individual school to do it. It doesn't matter if you're not a good team. You never know what could happen. Like there's the saying that tomorrow's a new day. You never know what's going to happen. You never know when you're going to win a game. Like it could be the worst team in the ACC, and I mean, they could go whip the Devil's ass tomorrow, which probably won't happen. But you never know. But those fans are going to be going to that game. At least the students are going to be on that court within seconds. So if that university does not have a good security detail and you cannot guarantee your players not getting hurt, or coaches getting run over or your managers getting run over, then it should be on the university, where the university is getting fined for that. Now, no matter what, a court storm, it's a fine no matter what, same as a field rush. But if you got a player getting hurt because of it, I think there needs to be an extra fine on top of it, where you're not going to pay more for some stupid activity where a fan runs into Cooper Flag. I think better security, and this isn't a problem.
I
agree. They need to add another security layer. You're right about the time. It's tough because they're not going to wait anyways if you just say there's. But another security layer, some kind of security around the benches, something needs to be implemented. The fine in the ACC would help.
Yeah,
but
I think
if you beat
Wake did
Duke
a really
in
good
that
job.
kind of game, it's going to happen.
When Duke was playing Wake at Wake, and there's like 5 minutes left in the game. Last year they upset us, and this year it was a really tight game. And about 5 minutes left, they had extra security guys coming down from each level.
Yep.
And as Clemson, it's not like you don't have enough guys. I mean, seriously. I mean, the amount of people those football games bring and those basketball games in Littlejohn, there's no way you don't have enough security to handle that.
Yeah, I mean, you could go look at the WU game where we just played Ohio State. You could look at any video with 5 minutes left, and you could see all of the Rhino guys coming out of the tunnels, because they don't come down with the fans. They're not getting in front of the game. They're coming down the back tunnels, and they're coming out, and there's swarms of them. They got these giant orange jackets on. You ain't missing them. They're wearing neon orange. So I just think that's something that the ACC needs to find a way to implement.
Right. I agree.
I'm in complete agreement with that. But I'm all for it because I know I'd want to do it if I was one of the teams beating these top 5 teams.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one thing you're not going to see in baseball. You're not going to see no field rushing in baseball. You might see the fans go absolutely ballistic.
Throw beers. I think
throwing Tennessee probably when they walked off Wright State a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Somewhere.
I mean, you're gonna see that. I mean, as soon as conference play, as soon as we get closer to Omaha in May, in April, and you're gonna see the rivalries come out. You're gonna see Alabama Auburn. That's gonna be a train wreck. You're gonna see when W plays Pitt up at PNC Park, is gonna be a train wreck. When Duke plays UNC, train wreck. You're not going to see these problems. There might be fights in the stands, and some yelling and cursing, but that's about it. That's about it with baseball. Because for baseball to get on the field, there's a lot more. You can't just instantly get on the field the same way you can with basketball or football.
Plus, it's a different paced game in baseball because in basketball you can feel it coming.
Yeah.
You know, you can feel it down. It's high pace, up and down. You can feel it last 5 minutes. Baseball, you have so many more breaks, slower parts of the game, and walk off is like that, but it's never been a thing to go on the field. You know, so you'll never see that. I don't think.
You might see it at one point. But it's not, and even then, the amount of people at a baseball game are significantly less than college basketball and college football. So it wouldn't be as big of a problem. Like, if you're up here at WU, just because it's easy for me to show, if you're a fan, you have to run all the way down to the ends of, like, towards each foul pole to even have access to get down to get near the field. There's no way to go straight down and straight onto the field. So I feel like it's a little bit harder.
Yeah, wins.
Also, like if
WVU's
you're coming in
first
from
game.
the outfield, that's a big drop from the wall to the.
Yeah. It's
Those
if you
bigger
look
walls.
if you look at WU Stadium, it's not even a drop. It's just a hill, and it's a steep hill.
I mean, if you want to take your chances up there at Auburn and hop down that monster, then go for it.
Yeah. Speaking of Auburn, shout out to our other buddy Bristol Carter.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
They open up.
transfer from
Holy
ECU.
Cross?
They open up Holy Cross Friday night, probably a 7 o'clock game. I would assume.
I think it's 5. I think it's 5.
It's 5.
Yeah.
I know W's down at Jacksonville University. I think we're at 6, and then our home opener is in a couple of weeks on I want to say the 25th. So that's going to be.
We'll be keeping an eye on the Tigers down there. Check in on them. I know their schedule's gonna be a gauntlet with the SEC.
That is a gauntlet of a conference. We're gonna try and get Bristol Carter on here shortly. Maybe we could get Duke Albright on, or Tyler Albright on from Duke. Reach out to him, see what happens. But
see how their off seasons are going and how they're feeling going into the spring.
Getting ready for the spring. Getting ready in a couple days to get the season started. And that's what I'm most excited for. Baseball season is here. Baseball season is here. With
warm weather too, hopefully.
Praying for some warm weather.
Yeah, best time.
Baseball is always a great time. With that being said, that is the end of episode 3. Goodbye.
Later, boy.